Hello everyone, this is Farzana for Farzana's Law, and thank you so much for joining me today in this brand new vlog where I'll be sharing with you all the key reflections and lessons that I've learned as a trainee solicitor based in London this week. So if you're interested in this kind of content, then do make sure to actually like, share and subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I like to upload this kind of content on a weekly basis as a kind of like a series and an episode that is basically going on every week, and I try to basically release one episode every single week. So of course, if you also want to check out any kind of content and also services, products and coaching services, everything like that, everything is always linked in the description box below of every single one of my videos. So I always actually check out those kind of sections of this particular video, because that's what I basically lay out everything, so you can never ever miss it out. And I've also organized in such a way that it's very easy for you to find more and more information. And of course, if you have any questions or queries, you can always email me on farzanaslow@gmail.com as well, because that's what I basically like to contact with you all on a one-to-one basis and also in a private note as well. So I wanted to share with you all today this particular lesson that I basically have learned this week, and something that honestly, it has been something that should be something that I should be actually learning, or something that I should have learned, mastered a long time ago. However, it has been something that has been always challenging in my life, and that is to speak over the phone. Now, my profession is such that I need to be able to speak and communicate with different kinds of people, different kinds of clients, lenders and third parties involved in a transaction, etc. So it's very important for me to make sure that I am actually confident over the phone as well as in person. Now, when it comes to in person, I can actually be myself and be confident and everything like that, but when it comes to actually talking on the phone, it's something that I've always struggled my whole entire life. And I don't really know the reason why this is, because I really try to reflect on why this is the case, but talking over the phone has been something that has been always challenging in my life, and I'm trying to basically overcome this through this particular job and this particular field that I've going on. Because obviously, whenever you are in a rush and you want to get some kind of information from a solicitor, or sorry, not solicitor, but a client or a lender or any other third party for that matter, the best thing to do, if you have chased them over and over again through email, the best thing to do is give them a phone call, and then they will basically reach out to you or give you more information about the query, or they will respond to you more effectively as well. So sometimes giving a phone call is basically what is needed to basically nudge them to give the information that is required to complete this particular transaction, whether there might be a purchase or a sale or a remortgage, lease extension, etc. So I believe that talking on the phone is something that a trainee solicitor and even a newly qualified solicitor should be mastering effectively, and that only unfortunately comes down to practice. So make sure that whenever you are chasing a particular party, whether there might be a client or a lender, etc., you are making the time to actually contact them directly. For example, in any kind of purchase matter, if a lender is involved, it's very important that you're contacting the lender to make sure that they give you their confirmation 100% that they're going to be releasing the funds on the completion date, which is very important. Because imagine if you have told all of the parties involved in a transaction that yes, we are completing on the, let's say, the 23rd of January 2025 on a particular file, and we have told everybody, but we didn't get the actual confirmation from the lender, which is needed very much so to make sure that this is actually going to be happening. Because if the lender's monies are not coming in, that means that we can never ever complete that particular transaction. So it's very important that we are actually doing those kind of checks, and the best way to do that is usually by a phone call. Because even if you try to get a confirmation by a lender through their email address or email correspondence, whatever that might be, it is not always effective, because sometimes it gets lost or it might get into spam, especially if you're somebody who is newly actually getting actively working on the files. They might not know you necessarily as a person who is currently working in that particular law firm, because there might be another person another person or one of your colleagues basically who is more familiar with that lender. So that's why the lender might know that particular colleague of yours but not you, and that's why your email might actually get into the inbox of spam, or it might actually never get delivered. So the best thing to do in this kind of situation is obviously call the lender and find out if they're going to be releasing the funds on the 23rd of January 2025, for example, and maybe what time, what amount, because this also allows you to actually prepare your kind of things as well from your side, however much you can as a trainee solicitor, to make sure that that file is basically getting completed as much as possible and as effectively as possible, because you do not necessarily want unwanted surprises on the day. You want to make sure that everything goes very smoothly and everything is basically completed in a timely manner, in a nice fashion basically. So this is why I highly encourage, if you're somebody who is currently really scared over talking on the phone and you feel very nervous, I would say that be over prepared when you're trying to to make a call to that client or any lender for that matter. For example, sometimes I've basically spoken to many lenders actually so far in these 3 months, or even how many months have I been a trainee solicitor? I believe it's November, December, January, so 4 months. So in this 4 months I've learned a lot, alhamdulillah, and I couldn't be more blessed and I couldn't be more lucky to have a team support, a colleague that and a supervisor that actually teaching me a lot every single day about different things about conveyancing, property law, in residential and commercial property as well. So it's very important that I'm appreciating them, first of all, and second of all, 100% that I have to contact a lot of clients and lenders and everything like that. And some of the things that they do ask on the spot, I may not know the answer on the time, but when I tell them that, in a very polite way that, excuse me, 1 second, let me just look that up for you, I will give you the information straight away. This actually allows them to wait and hold on to your conversation and make you feel like that you're also important, but you're also not feeling like that. Never ever think basically that you're wasting their time when you're looking for a specific type of information they have asked for, but you didn't get it ready because you wouldn't expect, or you couldn't expect that this kind of question is going to be asked as a security question, for example, of your client or the transaction, etc. So do not be afraid, do not feel nervous. It all comes down to practice as much as you can. And of course, another tip that I would definitely give to my future trainee solicitors and also newly qualified solicitors or solicitors in general, whoever is watching me right now, is to make sure that you're keeping a record of all the conversations that you ever have not outside, but whenever you're having any kind of conversation over the phone, because this is kind of like a evidence for you for the fact that you have taken the reasonable steps to make sure that all the information, all the actions have been taken to be able to make sure that this is a secure transaction that can actually go through and be completed. Because without that evidence, so who's going to believe you? Let's be honest. You need to have always, as a lawyer, evidence that you are doing this, you are doing that. These are the reasonable steps so you're basically taking to make sure that this transaction is going very smoothly and you're not leaving anything out. And besides, the more you're sure that you're doing the extra steps and the extra security checks, the more it is better for your firm as well. And also your supervisor gets more relaxed, thinking that, she can have that mindset and that belief that she's going to be doing the work really properly. And I know it because I've seen all this work that has been already done on this particular file, and she's doing all of the security checks the best she can, which means that I can trust her more and more with my files, with more legal work, with more work. Maybe, for example, let's say she can trust me more with files that have a purchase price of 1 million, 1.5 million, etc. So these kind of little things, little adjustments, and actually practicing every single day the art of actually talking over the phone is actually really truly helping me shape myself as a trainee solicitor, both personally and professionally, of course. And thank you so much everyone for joining me today in this particular vlog. If you did enjoy it, then please do like, share and subscribe, because I like to make, once again, this kind of content on a weekly basis because it helps me understand what kind of a person I'm becoming, and of course what are some of the skills that I'm yet to learn, and what are some of the things that I'm basically struggling with and how I'm overcoming those, because those are really important for me. Because if I'm somebody who's not tackling my weaknesses and turning them into my strengths, am I really growing? That's really the question that I want you to ask every single day, especially because it's January 2025. It's very important that we are all setting our own goals and looking forward to actually tackle those goals as much as possible and as consistently as possible, because that's basically what makes your goals as achievable as well, because you're becoming more and more self-disciplined. And once again, thank you so much everyone for joining me today, and I'll see you guys very shortly in my next week's episode.